Hello, everybody. This is Vince Russo, and this is a special edition, bro. Breaking news. This is Vince along with the great Ben. I almost said Hamin because that's what Disco says every time. Ben Hamin, the great Ben Hamin, and the great Stevie Richards. We got some breaking news today that I think involved us a little bit. And there aren't a lot of people that know that and that are privy to that. We're going to talk a little bit about that. How you guys doing tonight?
It's a Fox News exclusive here on RussoBrand.com. Yeah, man. We've been excited, as it is to keep any secret, as we've been alluding to in the last 2 weeks of what's been going on. Tonight, we get to talk about it openly and share it with all the great followers on all of our brands. And we'll see, because it's been definitely a big shakeup day. I don't mind being Ben Hamin today. Let him put me over, and he won't call me that on the next show because he probably won't want to put me over. So I'll actually be Ben Hamin again. But as always, here with the fountain of youth, finder himself, the man from Stevie Richards Fitness, my co-host of the Friday Locker Room, the Conspiracy Horseman, Stevie Richards.
Yeah, I think I'm looking younger every day because it's getting into that 1 hour sleep territory. So I'm actually getting in better shape. That's the way it apparently works up there from what we've witnessed. It's been an interesting 2 to 3 weeks. And I think before we even get started, we have to kind of credit Ben for even getting us to this point, Vince, because he did a lot of legwork. He did a lot of, sleuthing. And he got, yeah, there you go. That's the part. Well, my wife calls it sleuthing, but Ben, we were talking a long time about this, and Ben took the initiative to take that first step to start this communication off.
Yeah. Well, guys, what we're talking about, and there are no secrets here, guys. There are no secrets. We don't do anything. We don't say anything. Nothing happens behind the scenes that any of us would not talk about. We are an open book. But for you guys to really understand, the why, I gotta backtrack a little bit. Okay, guys, I gotta go back to, the Attitude Era. WWE is doing record numbers. They're drawing a television audience like they never drew before. Business is booming. The company goes public. At the time, guys, you will hear me say this all the time. The executive from USA Network that was involved with the WWE, it was more or less, the WWE was more or less her account. So, she was the one responsible for the show from the USA Network side. Her name was Bonnie Hammer. Guys, you can Google Bonnie Hammer. Bonnie went on to do bigger and better things. I mean, from USA Network, I know they gave her the Sci-Fi Channel. Like, that was all Bonnie. And, bro, you've heard me many, many, many times put over Bonnie Hammer as being brilliant. I had the luxury and the privilege of being in the same room as her on many occasions. And, bro, back then I used to compare her to, or call her, the female equivalent of Vince McMahon. That's how smart Bonnie Hammer was. Bro, she was as sharp as a tack. So, bro, what happens is Russo and Ferrara, they leave the WWE. Like I told Vince upon our departure, I said, Vince, you got a year to ride this wave. Everything's in place. You can ride the wave for the next year. Well, bro, when you look at the numbers, that's exactly what happened. They continued our storylines. They still had the momentum. But after a year, when you look at the numbers, they started going backwards. Okay, now, guys, this is what nobody knows. If Vince McMahon knew this at the time, there would have been World War III. Okay? Now, Bonnie Hammer, bro, working years and years and years with Vince McMahon, she knew all about Vince. She knew about, Vince's ego. She knew not the easiest guy to deal with, set in his ways. my way or the highway. And remember, bro, WWE was much bigger than USA Network. So WWE was dictating to the USA Network. So Bonnie knew, man, I'm going to have to, armor myself in order to be able to deal with Vince McMahon as the ratings were going down year after year after year after year. In other words, Bonnie would have to go into Vince and know what the hell she was talking about when it came to declining ratings, because Bonnie was smart enough to know, Vince was going to sell her a bill of goods. Well, Bonnie, the ratings are going down because of this and because of that and because of everything else. Vince wasn't going to say, yeah, Bonnie, the ratings are going down because the show's not as good as it used to be. That's not what he was going to say. He was going to come up with a million reasons why. Bonnie knew all of this. And she knew, I have to be able to go in there and have an educated discussion with Vince McMahon of why the product is going down. Okay? So, bro, Bonnie did something that to me was absolutely brilliant. Nobody knows about this. Vince did not know about this. Bro, I might have been the only one that knew about it, to be honest with you. Bonnie hired Ed Ferrara as a consultant for the USA Network. Ed was paid to watch every single show and critique every single show and go back to Bonnie Hammer and say, from an educated standpoint, Bonnie, here's the problem with the show. Now Bonnie was able to go to Vince and say, well, Vince, maybe the ratings are going down because of A, B, C, and D. She was able to go into Vince, bro, with an intelligent opinion. And, at that point, Vince can't, lay his bullshit on her because she had some valid points, because she was getting those valid points from Ed. Ed had written the show. Ed wrote the show when it was successful. And, bro, Ed was the consultant of USA Network for years and years and years and years. And like I said, bro, if Vince knew it at the time, it would have been World War III with USA Network. Bro, I can't imagine what the reaction would have been. So, guys, I always thought this was a brilliant idea. Guys, let's face it. We come from a world of workers, okay? When a wrestling company now hooks up with a legitimate network, two things happen. Number one, the network has no idea of the work and the people that they're dealing with. And let's face it, bro, we're talking carny people, bro. Let's get right down to it. When you're talking about the Bischoffs and the Hamins and the Pritchards and the McMahons and the Hayeses and the Jarretts, you're talking carny, bro. You're talking the best workers in the business. Network people are not used to this. Okay, bro? So they're not going to understand they're being worked. And here's number two. Bro, they don't know what's a good wrestling show from a bad wrestling show because there's nothing like wrestling. So when they see ratings going down, they really can't pinpoint why, because there's nothing like writing a wrestling show. Nothing's like it, bro. 52 weeks out of the year, live, the whole 9 yards. So knowing the history with Ed and USA Network and knowing how successful that was, bro, TNA made a deal with Destination X. And, bro, now they were going to have to deal with John Gaborick, who was from that cloth. And at that time, I contacted Destination X. And I said, guys, listen, man, this has happened before. This is what USA Network did. This is why they were very successful. You need somebody in your camp, bro, that is going to be honest with you, not going to work you, going to be a professional, going to be able to tell you this is why the numbers are going down. This is why it's not working, with no ulterior motive, but you need a wrestling person in your camp. Okay? Destination America, listen to me. Thank you. No, thank you. Did not take me up on my, my offering. And we all know what happened with TNA and Destination Network. It went on for a year and then it was over because the ratings went down. They had no idea why ratings were going down. They're being worked. They don't know what. And after a year, bro, it wasn't worth it anymore. The situation was over. Okay. Guys, I know I'm talking a lot, but I just want to set the stage because I think people have to know the backstory. Mm-hmm. Guys, I've been watching every Raw and SmackDown show for the last 5 years. Okay, bro, the show sucks. The show is terrible. There is nobody there who knows how to write a wrestling show. Guys, I am doing well with Vince Russo's The Brand. I got many legs working. I'm my own boss. I don't have to leave my house. I don't have to go on the road. I don't have to deal with politics. I have no reason in the world to ever want to work for the WWE again. But here's what was happening, bro, and I'm being my right hand to God. The shows were so bad, I was getting sick and tired of watching them. Like, I could not take watching these shows anymore. And basically, in my mind, it was like, bro, like maybe if I can consult, maybe if I can, kind of pull an Ed Ferrara, watch the shows, send them my notes every week. But literally, bro, it wasn't a money thing. It wasn't a wanting to work for them again. It was, I could not watch these piss poor shows anymore. So at that point, bro, my good friend Pete Gass, the Mean Street Posse, hooked me back up with Shane McMahon. Shane was thrilled to hear from me. And, bro, here's what blew me away. Within the first 5 minutes of my conversation with Shane, bro, he told me how bad it was. Like, that's not how the McMahons are. They are usually guarded. That they're not going to tell you something's bad. Bro, Shane pulled no punches. Vince, we need you. It's bad. It's bad, bro. And he buried it. He buried the product. So he said to me, he goes, Vince, I want you to write an email to Vince. As a matter of fact, I'm pretty much going to tell you exactly what to say. I want you to write the email before you send it to Vince. I want you to send it to me first, and I'll let you know it's okay. And then you can send it. So I did exactly what Shane asked me to do. I wrote an email. Bro, I never asked for a job in the email. I was not asking for a job. I was just pretty much saying, like, I'm an asset. I think I can help you. From somebody who's on the outside looking in, I may be seeing some things that you're not seeing because you're so close to it. Never once asked for a job. Shane, had some tweaks. Said, okay, Vince, send this to Vince. I'm going to let him know that to be expecting an email. Okay, bro, no problem. Sent it to Vince. Okay, bro, like literally, bro, within the next 24 hours, I got an email from Vince McMahon basically saying to me, there are no positions open. Okay, which I literally laughed out loud. In other words, all those kids from Notre Dame and wherever the hell they're from, every single person that was hired and was a part of that creative team, every single one of them, bro, were invaluable, that not even a Vince Russo could replace them. Vince said to me, there are no openings. So I called Shane back. I said, okay, Shane, I did exactly what you told me to do. Here was Vince's answer. Shane's mouth hit the floor. Shane could not believe that was Vince's response. Could not believe it. So I'm like, okay, bro, I tried. I tried to help you. So, bro, what happens? The show never changes. And I'm here watching it week after week after week after week. And bro, if you're with me on Twitch, you know how difficult this is for me, bro. It's just a total waste of my time. I've got to do it because it's part of my business. But I swear to God, bro, I'd rather watch ballet or opera. So at that point now, you know, I have a conversation with Ben and Stevie, and I don't remember exactly how it started, but it kind of started with, you know, oh, you know, you should contact Vince, this and that. And I said to them, I said, guys, I did that. Like I've done that. I reached out to Vince. I said, guys, we don't need to reach out to Vince. We need to reach out to Fox, because Fox has no idea what they're getting into. They're going to be worked by the best in the business. They're not going to know a good wrestling show from a bad one. They're not going to know why they're not getting the ratings that they paid $2 billion for. We need to reach out to Fox. And bro, we need to do it. It's not a money thing. It's twofold. First of all three of us have a love for the wrestling business for many, many years. All of us, bro. All of us. I'm a little older than Ben and Stevie. I might go back a little bit more, but these guys love the business, or loved the business just as much as I do. You know, that's number one. Number two, bro, our livelihoods depend on wrestling. Like our livelihoods depend on what you see every Monday night. Because the less and less people that tune in, the less and less people are going to be interested in wrestling. And we fall in that category because that's our background. So we need to call Fox. We need to be part of the solution, bro. They need somebody in their camp that's going to be on their side, that's not going to bullshit them, that's going to be honest with them, and basically analyze the show and say, guys, like, here's the issue. This is really what you need to talk to Vince and the WWE about. That's where Stevie said Ben made his connections. Next thing you know, we have a conversation with Fox. Me, Ben, and Stevie had a conversation with Fox. I'll let you two guys, you know, enter here. If you want to add something, please do. But maybe you guys can kind of pick it up from that conversation.
I just want to add that this strangely, and as always in the world, history repeats itself. So the initial idea of reaching out to Vince mirrored exactly what you did in that meeting pre-Attitude Era, where the company was in a similar boat, but without the Saudi money and the rich TV deals. So without those two things, WWE would be in just the same amount of trouble they were in before the Attitude Era, except there's no company that even put them out of business. They were putting themselves out of business this time without those two big deals. So we thought that, you know, why not have, if history repeats itself, make the same offer, except, you know, wiser, with more experience, and a team. You have two guys behind you that can help you, and we all want the same exact you know, ending out of this, where the business is better and everybody enjoys it a lot more. Then we wanted to go the same thing with Fox. So the preparation for that call, which wasn't much, was basically that same pitch, because we are essentially in the same exact spot, and Fox should know that. So to remind them of that in the call was very important. You know, this whole thing, we didn't go back and forth, and Ben can speak after I'm done this. We didn't go back and forth saying, what should we say? What we've been saying it on the show each and every week. What should be said? What should be done? How it should be. It was very natural to go into this call without really any preparation outside of what time are we getting on? And that was about it. So I'll let Ben take it from here.
Oh, yeah, man. And in real time today, as we record this June 27, 2019, it's because of WWE upper brass having to go have a principal's office meeting with the Fox execs. And I'm sure the people we talked with on our conference call, which I believe was June 11th, so a little over 2 weeks ago. You know, where to start. I don't want to dox this guy, but or tell you how to track people down on the internet. But all you have to do is Google the simple stories from any business journal or any business website of the deal. And it's going to give you the names on the Fox side, and you can find anyone on social media they can be gotten to. All I needed to do was drop Vince Russo's name after looking at who these Fox people follow and know who I'm dealing with. You know, if you're following PWG, AEW, you're a pretty serious wrestling fan in a higher production level, you know, who's going to be the conduit there. And it took them all 5 minutes to get back to me to set this meeting. So that was, you know, the enticement. And Stevie and I have lost plenty of TV shows, so we're kind of over it
like
at this
4 in
point.
a year.
Yeah. So, you know, Vince just gave you this whole elegant layout of the history, and he did the almost identical thing on this call. And I don't want to take it personally, but this could be also a business thing, and I'll explain both sides. Where they were just like, all right, so what do you want? After Vince laid all that out, or what are you proposing? Well, he's proposing that we be consultants and that we have not necessarily final script approval, but able to punch things up and offer a variety of services that we can. And you know, to make Vince Russo have to say that out loud, I thought was like, man, this is weirdly disrespectful. But then I also thought, well, there's also a side of the corporate world where they say you can't ask them to help, but if they say we can offer this, then you can tell them to write the proposal. So I don't want to have a reactionary thing that way when it's the unknown not known. It'd be easy to take it as an insult, but then even in follow-up emails, they're very short, and I'm sure they knew they were very good to us in the beginning as we laid out the bad news. They accepted it and said, well, we want to remain positive, but everything you've said, we understand and we are aware of. So
they were a little bit more accurate, Ben, with saying they did know. I'm paraphrasing, but they were aware of how bad the shows are and where they're at.
So that's why this coming to Jesus moment is coming for the upper brass and McMahons. Now everyone's like Bischoff, Hamin, as you know, the two guys who they're putting forward as this carny answer of when they have to show up saying, you're getting the ECW guy, you're getting the WCW, and you're getting the best of everything. When the reality is they don't have the upper hand in this deal like they did with USA, with the same property, to be able to have Bonnie Hammer have to do checks and balances on that 50-50 level. Now they've got Saudi Masters and Fox Masters, and they've got a tainted product that is only over because of nostalgia reasons, and no current reason is the boss's son buries it openly, and he's the top heel in the company. He knows something's wrong. So with Hamin and Bischoff, this is just to buy more time, hopefully do some carny tricks in front of these wrestling fan executives, you know, and I don't know if they're even executives, you know, they may be assistant producers who we talk to. And really, that's just to be able down the road, if things don't pick up, go, oh, it was on Bischoff and Hamin. We tried and we gave them a year. They couldn't do it. So it's a get out of jail free card, in my opinion, for them to do some old nostalgia. And dude, does it look like, you know, not to sweat these guys, because I love the wrestling business because of those names, of these names, Russo, Hamin, McMahon, and Bischoff. I absolutely am a product of all of that, as all of us are. But do these guys look like they're in their prime and hungry, ready to go get them, tear down and do a whole new day in wrestling? Like Paul Heyman's just hungry for it, and Bischoff can't wait to come out of Wyoming and do it and be on the road full time producing TV.
Well, Ben, you know what's interesting? There's some things that you guys may be hearing for the first time, but my God, Stevie, when you talk about history repeating itself, there's some things you guys should know. And then like when you process what I'm about to tell you, it's unbelievable of the incompetence at that level. Mm-hmm. Guys, I'll never forget when I was at TNA, guys, when I was writing, I was very secure in my spot. Okay, bro, I was not the guy that was going to cock block you to protect my spot, because quite frankly, bro, I didn't care who you were. You were not going to outwork me. I don't care who you are. I never had to protect my spot because, bro, you want to go toe-to-toe, you want to go one-on-one, let's do it because, bro, because of my work ethic and because I'm not a bullshitter and because I'm not a politician, I will bury you. So my mentality was never, oh, bro, never, cock block so-and-so. Bro, if I cock blocked people, Ed Ferrara would have never worked at WWE. I would have told Vince from the get-go, bro, this guy sucks. He blah, 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 blah. No, I immediately told Vince. And, bro, Ed had a writing background. Ed wrote television shows. I immediately said to Vince, hire this guy. Why did I say that, bro? Because I was confident in my own ability. I knew Ed could help the show. I wasn't worried about him being better than me. Because if Ed wanted to be better than me, then he would have had to kill me. Okay, bro? So that's not how I work. Fast forward, guys, to TNA. Okay, bro? Somehow or another, Paul Heyman gets brought up in the discussion. I'm the head writer at the time. Maybe it was probably when Jeff got ousted because of the Kurt thing. Dixie brings up Paul Heyman to me. You know what I say? Freaking, not only do I say, great, Dixie, Paul Heyman could help this company. Not only do I say that, I am the one who calls Heyman. Okay, bro? And I probably had 2 to 3 hour phone conversations with Paul Heyman. And my purpose was, I wanted Paul to understand the situation. I wanted him to understand Dixie. I wanted him to understand the finances of TNA. I wanted to be honest with him, and I wanted to tell him, bro, like, I don't want you to think you're going to come in with this ECW idea and you're just going to be able to do everything you want to do. Bro, it doesn't work that way. And Dixie was a big part of that, not having the finances. I wanted to let Paul know what he was getting into. So what's the next thing I do? I set up a meeting with Paul and Dixie. I don't know if you guys know this or not, but this will blow your mind. I set up a meeting with Paul and Dixie, right? I'm not at that meeting, bro. Dixie's on her own now. Okay, you want him? I'm on board. I'm cool with it. He knows what he's getting into. Now you two need to have a discussion. Bro, Dixie made what I believe was the decision that was the beginning to the end. And if you guys think I'm going round and round listening, it's going to all come back full circle. You're going to understand all this. She made the one mistake, bro, that was the beginning of the end. She sends Paul Heyman to meet with the USA executives on his own. Okay, bro?
You mean Spike TV?
Yeah, I'm sorry, Spike TV. By himself. I said to Dixie, you have no idea what you just did. You have no idea what you just did, because Paul Heyman is going to go to that meeting with Spike and he's going to sell Paul Heyman. He is going to bury you. He is going to bury TNA. He is going to tell them everything that is wrong with this company and how he could be the savior. Dixie, you should have never, ever, ever sent him there on his own. I mean, colossal mistake. So, bro, Paul has the meeting with Spike. All of a sudden, bro, from there, Heyman isn't hired, but Spike now all of a sudden decides, oh, we need an executive producer of this show. We need to have an executive. That all came from Heyman. Heyman was positioning himself to be the executive producer of the show. Okay, and I'm sure that's where Dixie ex-nated. That, no, I'm the executive producer of the show. But now Spike couldn't get it out of their head. We need an executive producer of the show. So, guys, what does this moron and this idiot do? Me. What does this moron and this idiot do? I look around. Who's the one with the experience that is more capable of being an executive producer than anybody else? Who? Freaking Eric Bischoff. So now I am championing Eric Bischoff to be the executive producer of the show, to be the liaison between TNA and freaking Spike, and the last guy that talks to Spike. Why am I doing this, bro? Because if Eric Bischoff is above board, okay, bro, this will be good for the company. He's got that experience with TV and the executives. I did not. And I'm thinking to myself, man, if he's above board, this could be a good thing. Now, keep in mind, bro, this is the exact spot they hired Eric Bischoff for right now in the WWE. Eric Bischoff is going to be the executive producer of SmackDown, and he's going to deal directly with Fox. Well, bro, once Eric is in that position, what happens? He buries everybody in the company. That's when, after years and years and years and years of me being there, I started having a problem with the Spike executives. Because in order to puff himself up and make himself, invaluable, he went in there, said Russo is incompetent as a writer. Russo shouldn't be there. I would do A, B, C, and D. Dixie Carter doesn't know what she's doing. He buried the company. How do I know this, bro? How do I know this? Because when John Gaborik got hired and sent Eric home, Dixie had to find something for Eric to do because he was still on payroll. So what does Dixie ask Eric to do? She asked him to critique the shows. So what does Eric do now that he's sitting at home? He's critiquing the shows. He's ripping the shit out of the show from beginning to end, not saying one positive thing about the show. And guess who else he's sending that critique to? Spike TV. Okay, bro? All of a sudden, bro, within a year, Spike TV is not renewing the contract with TNA. That 10-year deal, however long it was, is over. Now you have that same person. You see the history. You see what he did. Bro, think about this. Think about this if you're Eric Bischoff, bro. And you guys don't know Eric like I do. Think about this, Eric Bischoff. Bro, he's the executive producer of SmackDown. The ratings don't go up. Nothing changes, bro. Nobody's watching the show. Now, Fox TV wants some answers. Eric's the executive producer. Eric's the one who's in communication with them. Eric's going to take responsibility? Eric's going to say, yeah, guys, the show is really bad because I suck as an exec. No, bro. He's going to sell every single person down the river to make himself look good, promote himself to Fox TV. Hey, bro, maybe there's a side deal in it with him and Fox. That's what Eric was thinking with Spike TV. Bro, because remember, bro, he had his production company at the time. So Eric's motivation is, bro, I'll work these guys at Spike. I'll make them think I walk on water. Everybody else is inept and incapable, and maybe I can get them a deal for 4 television shows. They put this guy in the same exact situation. And here's the part that makes me laugh. You mean to tell me Vince McMahon doesn't research any of that? Vince McMahon doesn't know. Well, the minute Dixie Carter named Eric Bischoff the executive producer of TNA, a 10-year deal went down the toilet. Vince McMahon doesn't know that, so he's going to put that guy in that same exact situation. And when things go sour, and he starts selling he's going to sell Pritchard, Hamin, Vince, you name it, bro. It's going to be everybody's fault but his. And that's the part that makes me laugh, because I lived through all that. I know exactly what happened. And the genius, Vince McMahon, you're going to hire that same guy and put him in that same exact spot. And the minute Fox says, bro, what's going on? Eric freaking buries everybody down the river. You don't think history doesn't repeat itself, bro? You think people change? Let me tell you, bro, I am 60 years old almost. I'm 58. Eric's 60 something. Okay, bro, at 60 something, you don't change. You're the way you are, and that's what you're going to do. And bro, here's what it's about with these people. It's about greed. It's about money, and it's about ego, and it's never their fault, bro. Not only is it never their fault, they never put anybody over. It's never anybody else's success, and it's never their fault. So the one piece of this is the Bischoff piece. You're going to put him in the exact same spot with Fox, where he was with TNA and Spike, and that was the beginning of the end. Bro, somebody there's got to do their homework, guys.
Well, that's the thing there, too, is what we're looking at is it's not just exclusive to Eric, what you described, because like Ben said, the suspicion is that Vince hired both of them to sell them down the river. Paulie's going to try to sell everybody down the river. You know, then you have the dynamic with Hunter and Stephanie with Vince that's supposedly going on backstage. You got Bruce mixed in somewhere. You have, dare I say it, this is the stuff that should be on their television. That would draw
exactly
the ratings.
what we were talking about with Disco today. This is the show. Like this is the show. And the fact that you guys can't see that this is the show is the reason.
Well, because they, like you just said, that their egos won't allow them to show their ass, and there won't be any baby faces, much like a real soap opera. There's no real baby faces in a soap opera. So they would be the most over ones in a company. And like I said, dare I say it, this would be what would get Fox up to a 3.1.
Absolutely.
Showing all of this.
Yeah. I mean, and saying what's what you want to make believe Double J is really still a ex-country star and stuff, dude. Talk about the rehab stuff. Talk about the second chance. Talk about the pressures of driving and being on the road. Like, show each one of these guys, you know, and doing, show Pritchard having to go to AEW show in you know, undercover. Like, let's show
you just mentioned Jeff. Jeff's another expert worker. You throw him into that mix as well, wherever these people on a reality basis or no business will ever get done because they're going to be on the hamster wheel trying to maneuver and play the chessboard.
Think about this, but what we haven't seen or heard from behind the scenes of, they knew this was coming. Like, obviously the whispers of, oh, they're going to have to go meet with them. What are they going to do? What's the Carney thing? And then they hear, well, they're going to name 2 executive producers. Imagine the last 10 days when everybody knew that in the upper level, and it's Bruce angling against Jarrett, angling against Hamin. Bischoff's name gets thrown in. Think about all of the stooge reports that's been flipping around right here in the last week that came to fruition today as like a aha moment, but it's really just a misdirection spot, and to be able to pass the heat in here.
Well, you know, Ben, here's the sad thing with all this going on, and bro, the politics is full time engaged in gear. Huge. With all this going on, bro, unfortunately the television product, you know, is not the priority. The TV product and what the issue is not the priority. What the priority is okay, who's going to win? You know, guys, I told Disco today, you know, Stevie, because Disco was arguing with me, and I was telling him, bro, there's only one way they're going to get that number back up. Basically, like, this is the show. This is the show, bro. All these freaking egomaniac, carny, backstabbers, bullshitters, all vying for Vince's love and vying for the love of Fox and positioning themselves and stepping over each other and having their guys and who's on my side and who's. That's the show. Bro, that's the show. And I got to tell you guys something. Glenn's sitting there, oh, no, bro, good characters and good storylines. Guys, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Bro, when I went to WCW, they were in the shitter. Ed Ferrara and I, for 3 months, bro, we broke down the foundation because we had to rebuild. That's what we did the first 3 months. When you look at the numbers, bro, in those first 3 months, the ratings were going up. Okay? Guys, politics, the whole 9 yards, I go home. Okay? I go home. Bro, they call me back 6 months later because the regime who replaced me through politics were all the way back to where they started before I got hired. Guys, when I went back, I knew immediately we were not getting those fans back. We had them back, bro. Those 3 months, they were coming back. All of a sudden, bro, for the next 6 months, it's a sharp right. They lost it. And, bro, I knew we're not getting these people back. Bro, the WWE, I don't care who you hire. Okay, Bischoff, Pritchard, you got them all there now, bro. You're not getting back the casual fans, bro. And let me tell you why. Let me explain this to you real simply, bro. You had 10 million people watching that show. You have 1.5 million people watching that show. Bro, the world has passed you by. The world has passed you by, bro. Society has passed you by. Television has passed you by. Entertainment has passed you by. Why, bro? Because you're in the wrestling bubble. And everything in the wrestling bubble is make-believe and phony, and there's no reality, bro. We're gonna throw powder in so-and-so's eyes. You literally let the world pass you by, and you remained in that bubble. Nothing changed. You insulted the intelligence of your audience, the casual viewers. They went bye-bye. Guys, this is 15, 20 years in the making. This ain't the last 6 months. So they're not coming back, bro. They're not coming back. The only thing that could possibly get television viewers back is a drastic change. What is that drastic change? Okay, guys, you want to know how the wrestling business really works? Here it is. Here's the snake Hamin. Here's the snake Pritchard. Buddy, kissy, lovey. Once they go the separate waves, knives. And Pritchard's getting this guy in his camp. And Hamin's getting this guy. And freaking you got Eric, giving the old massage to Fox. That's the freaking show. Why will that never happen, guys? Because they keep regurgitating and bringing people back from the wrestling bubble. Those guys are not capable, bro, of putting on a show like that because they live in a fairy tale. They live in a work business where everything is so blatantly phony, not believable. Nothing has changed. And when you keep bringing people back into the bubble, you are going to get the same exact results. I swear to God, you guys, I don't know how they don't see and understand that.
Well, here's an opportunity that I think they took off of that, and we might have played a part in this somehow indirectly, because I'm curious, and I want to ask both you guys, starting with Ben, how soon was it, and was it during that meeting that they stooged off that we had the call? Us three with Fox. Did Fox go and tell WWE right away, or was this part of the thing where Vince or Hamin or Bischoff or anybody used that to kind of step on us three to get that spot they needed? Not that they needed it, but why not use every tool available to get you where you need to go?
It is interesting. When we recorded originally, right afterwards, we posed that question. We just got back on with each other. Who are they on with right now? Who are these producers talking to before it was Bischoff and was feeding them bullshit, and they had to do the smile and a handshake before they get stabbed, and then popping for Russo running right here. But obviously, as Vince has laid out, Vince McMahon obviously has something deep-seated against him, because we talked about it. They've brought back everybody except for Russo and Cornette, the two guys who are the only credible ones to actually build stars and get shit over with. Instead, they've surrounded himself in the snake pit, and his own son's not putting it over. Talent we talk to on a weekly basis about creative who has to wait weeks just to be able to pitch their stuff to get it shot down. To listen to John Moxley interview about the broken creative process when you're in a semi-main event and you're right there and you can't even say to your boss, hey, can I get 5 minutes with you? Like, you have to go through all of these dudes up and down the ladder just to try and get some half-pitched business, and then you look bad instead of trying to do what's best for wrestling, which is exactly what we're doing here, not to have to do an end around. But when Vince Russo is talking to Shane McMahon and he wants him back and knows that's the solution, and then at the top level there's a throat cutting, well, that doesn't mean we stop loving wrestling and want to do what's best for everybody, because we have so many people coming to us for creative advice, help, and you know, because they're in it for the love of it too. So it's like we're all having to collude against the king in any way possible to save the kingdom. Really, it's a very strange time and day. And then they just bring out more people who want to be in the Game of Thrones analogy to be the heel at the top of that pile.
I was going to say too, in state, they have 3 months to get the number back to the base that they needed at 3.1 in October. And instead of streamlining the process or having a sense of urgency, they added 2 more pieces to this huge machine to actually clunk it down even more.
Right. We were ready to sit outside of the bubble, be that third party that is, you know, critical, but also has the eye and mind of the performer's safety first and foremost in mind, because we've seen far too many things getting through agents and productions that should not be happening, that are endangering workers. The basics of storytelling that obviously these Notre Dame or talent agency ex-writers don't know how to tell, or is getting kiboshed. And then if need be for us to show up on site. But, you know, to think that these guys are hungry, that they're putting in that spot to make the show better. No, Vince laid it out. They're hungry to get themselves over, to get that bigger check. And so let me ask you this, Vince, did Hervey Bischoff Productions during that time at Spike TV, where he was sitting home, burying everybody on the consultant, did they sign any reality shows with Spike or any affiliates of them at that time?
Man, I don't know, bro, but I do know that's what Eric was in the game for. It had nothing to do with TNA, bro. It had zero to, bro. Like I'll be honest with you, Ben. I was shocked. I was shocked that when Spike did not renew the deal with TNA, I thought 100% they were going to launch a new show with Eric behind it. I thought, I don't know why that didn't happen. I don't know if it was finances or money or what. But guys, we got to think about, like, I want to really, because I love you guys, because you guys are the conspiracy horsemen.
Could I say one thing very quickly? Hold that thought.
Yes.
I just want to give people some perspective on the way we approached this call and the way these people operate. You know, and this is why the business and the talent are in the spot they're in. I'm real big on safety, and I'm real big on things to try to keep these performers healthy and keep them drawing money for the longest time. And when we're on the call, that's one thing I put over to the executives. I said, you know, I would be the person that would tell these people or consult in the way that would garner the most out of it safely, because you have an intellectual property you've invested $2 billion in. What if your intellectual properties aren't there to draw you the ratings because they all have broken necks and they're all out? So I doubt Paul and Bischoff and Bruce or anybody's bringing that sort of stuff up. So when everybody's saying, "Oh, you guys, you're just doing," no, we're doing it because we care from every level, not just creatively, but also physically and mentally and spiritually about the actual talent that's gonna make this money for everybody involved.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
Well, again, guys, it's just the logic. Like, how God, bro, is, you know, again, you know, Ben, I'm going to go back to Vince. I have to ask myself, is Vince McMahon doing this for his own entertainment? He knows these guys are not going to get along. He knows the politics. He knows, guys, when I was working with Bischoff at TNA and Stevie, we rebooted the ECW thing. Bro, Eric hates ECW. He hates everything about ECW. Bro, I had to freaking beg him to let Tommy Dreamer sit in on a creative meeting when we were doing the ECW stuff. And I was like, Eric, I don't know ECW like Tommy. Tommy needs to sit in on creative. I had to fight him tooth and nail. He hates ECW, bro. Who represents ECW? Paul Heyman. Bro, like, this is not stuff that Vince doesn't know, Ben.
Yeah, but that's weird you say it to me, because Evie threw a fit. I mean, you were in the meetings, but as a viewer, WCW and Nitro was built on the backs of ECW, from Jericho, Lance Storm, Raven, Stevie, Public Enemy. Like, you can go Eddie, Dean Malenko. Like, if you were watching ECW, you knew they were there first. And the guys that they fucked over and fucked off with, because, again, Bischoff's ego's in the way. Steve Austin. Oh, I wonder what happened there. It's how many more stars are they going to pass on and miss? Because is it Vince just having fun? I'd like to believe I'm still a genius, but everything we've heard is that the bubble is so deep, so thick, that even if something brilliant from creative does come out, it's shut down, that doesn't realize what's going on in the world or have anything except tunnel vision there. And I think this is a quick fix, a Band-Aid on a broken leg for controversy to appease these Fox execs. XFL is coming, a lot of other things do, and it's just going to be easy to step aside. And the fact that Triple H is out of this picture fully as well is very strange to me.
And the fact that, too, everybody, oh, bro, AEW, WWE, that's a joke. Oh, Vince Russo, you're an idiot. You don't know what you're talking about. Oh, I don't know what I'm talking about. What's Bruce Prichard's role now? Anybody? If Heyman's running Raw and Bischoff's running SmackDown, why was Bruce hired? Can somebody answer that for me now? Why was Bruce hired? And
somebody's got to help me watch these goddamn kids. I can't watch these kids myself.
And you know what? Ben, I think you hit the nail on the head. Stevie, I really think this is what it was all about. I really think this was all about, bro. I believe our conversation had some effect. I believe before our conversation, they were watching this show. They were watching these ratings. What the F? Okay, bro. We have the conversation. We, verify, guys, this is not going to get any better. Okay. I would have to believe there was a conversation with Fox at one point. What are you guys doing to make this show better? Well, there's this guy, Eric Bischoff, who was the executive producer of TNA, and he worked with Spike and WCW and this, that, and the other thing. And we're going to bring him in. I mean, bro, like, honestly, if you have to show Fox, what's the change? What are we going to do? If I'm Fox, I want to hear something big. You better give me something big. And, bro, I guarantee you the way they built up Eric, the way Eric built up himself in their minds now, Spike, okay, we got our answer. They made a change. They put this guy Bischoff in charge. Bischoff has a history. Everything's going to be okay. Bro, everything is not going to be okay, because I hate to bust your bubble. Eric Bischoff is not a creative guy. Okay. And I can say that because I sat in creative meetings with him for months and months and months. That is not his strong suit. You know what his strong suit is, bro? His strong suit is politics. His strong suit is playing the game. His strong suit is power, money, ego. That's his strong suit. If you think creatively, this guy is going to, do the magic wand gimmick, bro, you guys are in for a rude awakening. Go ahead,
I'll be damned if I'm going to let you sit here and badmouth the creative behind Prince Iakea's reboot when they brought him as Prince. That was brilliant. I think you're kind of painting a glam picture without we still have a chance possibly, because as we sit here, we not meticulously planned this, but we came at it from both sides, and now we've done all we can, and we'll sit back on the hill and watch Rome burn if need be. We don't want to. We'd love to be part of the solution, but the moves made today are not set up for a solution. And in no way do I see those pieces working out to an amicable solution for a better show, a quick pop. Now, the people we talk to at Fox, who I laid out, are following Pro Wrestling Guerrilla, AEW, Hangman Page. Like, this is who you're dealing with. It's not dealing with, let me explain wrestling to you. So whoever they're dealing with, after they got off the call with us, if it is Bruce or whatever, Bruce knows how big of marks that these guys are. And what would make them pop more if I hit them with a DM and said the words Vince Russo, and they might already be brand members already. and it took 5 minutes for me to get a response to start the meeting in motion. If Deuce knows that, all he's got to go is, these guys are going to pop huge if they get to work with Bischoff and Hamin. Like, that's the quick fix. Like, they already know how to get in and fine tune and work these guys who are wrestling lovers, marks, whatever, but are on the money side at Fox. And Fox, whoever's above those guys, doesn't know shit about wrestling, knew those guys we were on the call with were interested in it. So they're the best ones to be the liaison between TV. A right move in their mind. But, dude, that's chum in the waters for the big sharks at WWE. You're just feeding those guys exactly what they want.
Yeah. Yeah. Stevie?
It's going to be very interesting. And Ben put it best. What Ben used a waterfall analogy or tidal wave analogy when he said it, because we are 3 months away, and you just made the perfect analogy, Vince, that they may not get those people back, even if they do a desperate, like supposedly lesbian angle with Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose or whatever. And that's something I thought about too. And I think, Ben, we mentioned it to each other. They'll do it.
We're always talking desperate lesbians.
Yeah. they'll think that this is edgy. Like you said, this is cool. This is edgy. This is where it's like, my God, I saw that like 5 years ago on PBS. Like, they don't know what it is. Or if they go way too far, it's a children's show right now. So this rating could go down even further, because now parents are going to say, well, wait a minute, what am I got my kids watching this stuff for? And you could see it drop below a 1.
Yeah.
Which could panic them. Now, it could get worse before it gets better, but how are they going to stay the course when they don't have any long-term booking plans for anything? They're writing we smartened them up that they didn't know, the Fox executives, that they're rewriting the show during the show.
Yeah.
He did smart. You smartened them up, because I go, they're rewriting the show that afternoon. You said, no, they're rewriting the last hour during the first hour, which is absolutely true.
There was some dead air after that.
Yeah.
I think what the sad thing is, bro, I swear to God, bro, when I worked with Eric at TNA, this is the one thing I used to say to him. And bro, this used to piss him off more than anything. Okay. And this was me being 100% sincere. And this was me being 100% me, and Eric being 100% him. And this tells you everything you need to know. The one thing he used to hate that I used to say all the time, bro, is, bro, as soon as I would feel the politicking, and as soon as I knew what was going on and the knives are coming out, and bro, as soon as I felt it, I would sit there and I would tell Eric, and I meant this from the bottom of my heart. I would tell Eric, all I want to do is write the best show I possibly can. That's it. That's all. I don't give a shit about all this other stuff. I am being paid to write the show. That is all I care about. And bro, that used to piss him off more than anything, because basically I was calling him out. And I was basically saying, bro, go play your politics, go stab people in the back, get power, get more money, do whatever the F you want to do, Eric. I just want to sit here and write the show. And I think bro, when I used to say that, he used to set him off. But that's my point, bro. The sad thing is right now with all of these players, that's not the priority. You know, Pritchard, Eric, Hamin, Jarrett, all these people, the priority is not, I just want to write the best show possible. Bro, that is so far down the ladder. The priority is real simple. Who wins? Who wins? At the end of this game, who wins? That is the priority of every single person, bro. From Shane, bro, let's look at the teams. Let's freaking look at the teams. You got team number 1, Shane McMahon. You got team number 2, Triple H and Stephanie. You got team number 3, Eric Bischoff. You got team number 4, Paul Heyman. You got team number 5, Bruce Pritchard. Okay, bro, that's 5 teams right there.
Well, Bruce and Vince are one team together.
Bruce and Vince, one team. Okay, 5 teams right there, bro. 5 people all jockeying for position. Then, bro, on the outskirts, you got the Jeff Jarrett. Bro, Jeff's a B player. Stevie, can you imagine
Jeff's not
Jarrett
considered to be the top worker in this?
Yeah, bro, can you imagine Jeff Jarrett being a mid-carder when it comes to politics? Bro, Jarrett's a mid-carder. Michael Hayes these guys are mid-carders, bro.
Matt Hardy. Yeah, like, keep going.
So, bro, that's 7. That's 7 different things.
Road
Poor
dog.
Dana Warrior. Like, I wonder if Dana Warrior knows what's going on. Poor
What
Dana.
if she's the most cutthroat of them all? What if her whole gimmick is just acting bright-eyed, but she really knows everything that's going on?
What about poor Dewey Foley? What about poor innocent Dewey Foley?
He's going to poison the pancakes one day, and then he'll be the head writer. He's
but
he made those awesome cardboard belts. Don't forget about those belts.
But guys, that is the sad thing. As far as I'm concerned, that is the sad thing. I know these players. I know the game. I've worked with them all, and not one single one of them gives a shit about the show. What they care about is who's going to win. And that right there is the reason why nothing's going to change.
I'm back. Better than ever. I'm back. Making things better. We'll see if controversy does create cash or if cardio creates a better GM, because I think these guys maybe past their prime. Unfortunately, not like they don't have anything to offer, but it's all about the personal stuff, man. And it really, while you're describing that and laying those teams out, all I can hear is the Game of Thrones theme in my head of like look at all these heels, and then even the outliers, like Jared is now Littlefinger in this equation, and like the sub characters.
Ben, what about Stevie? What about the next level? Because, bro, I popped huge today. Let's talk about the next level. Those are the teams.
Right. Can I get a meme from a brand member of Stevie in the wheelchair at the end becoming the Game of Thrones, the kid who won Game of Thrones there? He would look really good.
But Steve, listen to this. That's the teams. Okay. I had a pop huge today did you guys see the Seth Rollins tweet?
About which one? I mean,
the Bish is back. Okay. So, all right, let's just take that right there. First of all, Seth Rollins, from what I know, you've never worked with the Bish. So, like, you did not work with the Bish at WCW. You weren't at TNA with the Bish when I was there. From my knowledge, you've never worked with the Bish, but right away, bro, the Bish is back. Stevie, think about this now. You've got 7 teams, and you've got 250 talents having to decide what team they're on. Stevie, who am I going to kiss up to? Who's going to win this game? Who am I going to show favor to? Whose coffee am I going to get? Can you imagine the boys? Who do we hook our wagons up to?
Well, people are starting to get a look into what goes on backstage and how exhausted you must be by the time you actually get out there to wrestle your match, because this is tiring, and you multiply this times days, weeks, months, and years in the company, and it's a complete mind fuck. And let's not say this is the way Vince could very easily redesign the mission statement of the company and call this this is what we're doing. I don't want to play any politics. You play your politics, you play your games, you're instantly fired. Vince secretly loves all this stuff, and maybe not so secretly. So that's his game. This is his Game of Thrones. This is his video game that he gets to play every week. That's why he goes to TV, not because he loves the show, because he falls asleep just like we do. They just don't get it on camera.
I'll tell you why, pal. Nobody's going to be on anybody's team, because wild card. That's what shakes it up. Nobody knows. Everybody's stabbing everybody. You go to one team, stab a guy. Go to the next team, stab a guy.
Well, that's the thing too. Like his impression of Vince is so entertaining and has people talking, because it really does seem like this must be what happens, because it makes absolutely no sense. I just think these people, I don't know, man. I just don't know how you are going to hash this out. Are they just going to get rid of anybody? The only thing Vince can do is sell it to Disney or something, since Fox is involved. That's his only way really out. And if he doesn't go to the XFL full time in February, one of those, because that's coming up too. You should really get ready for that. You put $272 million into it.
Yeah.
What if he is splitting his time between weekend games at the XFL and then this? If he's scattered right now, can you imagine that next year?
Well, how about this too? And as we don't get far away from what we talk about controversy wise, Pat McAfee and Sam Roberts talking, is AEW working with WWE? Are they bankrolling them? That comes out. But, everything we put out there beforehand, all those crazy bastards, and they're just trying to, get clicks and whatnot. Now it's coming from their own guys under contract, from under their own carpet, man. It's just insane how far ahead of the curve Russo brand, Hamin Media Group is, because we are in the trenches, in the cut, talking to guys who are top stars on every show, not just WWE, on Impact, the Indies, AEW. That's just how we're connected, and that's how people respect Vince's opinion, Stevie's opinion, and all the people that I helped make coming up, man, and I'm out there doing it with now. So the fact that they're trying to think this is slicker when we have to keep information from our fans, and I just say, hey, stay tuned. Well, this is the reason why, because we still have an opportunity as we sit here on the hill and watch the fires slowly burn. Wait till about August or September when they're blazing hot, as we get to TV and the numbers may be at a 1-1, 1-3. Now we're talking about some serious heat, my friends, not just some dirt sheet grenade rolled into the room for everybody to chew on that day and take some shrapnel from, as they named 2 executive producers. Now it's time to swim. And we offered those services for the betterment of all of wrestling, not for the betterment of Stevie Richards, Vince Russo, and Ben Hamin.
Yeah. It's all about agenda, man. It really is all about agenda. And that's the thing, bro. It's like Vince is smart to that. Vince knows it. I mean, Vince knows the players. He's worked with all of them. He knows the players. He knows the game. And, Stevie, it's kind of what you said. I mean, I don't know, bro. Is he sitting back there getting bored and he's just trying to entertain himself? I mean, how can you, knowing these players, how can you not know the outcome?
Maybe he doesn't, because he's Vince McMahon. And like you said, he did do the research on Eric Bischoff and Spike TV, because that's Eric Bischoff. That's Spike TV. That's small time. That's not WWE. It's the bubble. You just talked about the bubble. And that is that's downright Shakespearean. All this stuff is downright Shakespearean without even meaning to. And this is the Julius Caesar thing. When they going to all turn around and start stabbing him?
It's 100% Julius Caesar, dude. It absolutely is that. You've got a whole Senate of people who are all corrupt, who got in their position of power by being deceptive. And now this guy's brought them all there. And then A2 Brute is really Shane, in my opinion, or Triple H going, we got to take Old Yeller out back and put him down, because that's the only way this is going to, get any better at this point, man, to X him out, because you want to believe like, oh, Vince is bored, he's a genius. And maybe he is doing that to some degree for the old days. But these interviews we've heard of how out of touch he is. This is good shit, pal. What are you talking about? This is going to be great. Let's get you over. And like, it makes no sense whatsoever in the vernacular of coward, or you're an elite coward, coming out of the mouths of heavy machinery. Just everything is shit. Everything you are writing is garbage, not memorable, and not making a moment for anybody 10 years from now to look back at this era and go, oh, look at how awesome that was. Remember when that happened? You can't say that about one thing in the last 5 years, not one. No.
All right, guys. Well, there you have it. And like Ben says, we will sit back on the hill. We will watch. And, bro, everybody says, oh, I'm going to give it a chance. You got to give him a chance. Bro, yeah, okay, bro, you're going to give him a chance. But like I said, bro, people don't change their stripes. They are who they are. There's a reason the three of us are not in the wrestling business. Guys, I'll tell you right now, we're not supposed to be in the wrestling business because, bro, we're not of the cutthroat, me, myself, and I, power, money, we're just not of that world, bro. That's not how the three of us function. And, bro, unfortunately, that is a job, requirement. And there's a reason why we're not there. So that's why, like, okay, bro, yeah, give him a chance. I know the players, I know the game, I know the outcome, guys, and we'll just see what happens, right?
John Wick doesn't look happy back there. That's for sure.
John Wick, bro. Yeah, look at that, John Wick.
I thought it was X-Pac till I finally read it. I was like,
oh my God, come on. All right, Ben, tell everybody else where they could find everything you're doing. Let's remind everybody, bro.
Oh, I mean, there's a big sale coming on Monday, and if you really want to show your dismay and be one of the smartest smarks of all the internet, then you got to go over to prowrestlingtees.com/Ben Hamin and get the Hamin's Tarp Emporium shirt. I mean, that's the one all the real smart asses want anyway. Or $5 face slap. We're doing it big every day at hackerhamin.podbean.com, which you can get everywhere: Spotify, iTunes, or subscribe over there, and twitch.tv/conspiracy horseman. Putting out great new content all the time. Stevie is too on his YouTube. So we're easy to find, you guys, especially here at russobrand.com. More Master Shoot Theater. So subscribe if you haven't already.
Hey, Stevie, before you tell us what you're doing new today, or what you're doing new at, let's say, 11:20. Stevie, a lot of people are asking me, bro. They want me to go to the Conspiracy Horsemen and ask them, what the hell's going on in the Dominican Republic, bro?
I don't know. That whole thing with David Ortiz getting shot and everything.
Everybody dying over there, bro. But
there's poisoning going on.
Yeah, somebody said, guy, you need to ask these guys what the hell's going on. Have we heard anything on that, bro?
Sorry, Stevie, do you
nothing in the mainstream media, even that they're probably scrubbing Google on that, because I'm always looking for stuff like that to see what's going on.
It was on Drudge earlier today that the sixth supposed victim, and it's not like there's any rhyme or reason. That it seems like a couple African Americans and white people who are down there vacationing, and they're saying the pattern that they found is that they drank from the mini bar in the resort. So they think the poisoning is coming from there, not from like the bar, the cocktails, resort. So that to me means it either happened at the bottling plant, or it's happening with somebody on the staff that's in the cleaning and restocking is a psychopath and is poisoning the stuff in the resort that way. That'd be my first two leads to shake down which way it's going, but it's not happening at the same resort. So to me, that means it's more likely happening at the bottling plant of someone putting cyanide or whatever it is they're being tested.
Well, I do have a conspiracy theory about that. Now that you mention it, I'm putting the breadcrumbs together. Maybe it's actually Vince, because he doesn't want Sasha Banks to walk out again and go to Dominican Republic on vacation. He's sending her a little warning shot.
Very nice.
We got to have a meeting. We got to have another meeting. Get Deuce in here. God damn it. We got to cover this up too.
Hi, Stevie. What are you doing new at 11:20 at night right now? I know you're doing something new right now.
Just still testing out production for the full YouTube show I'm looking to put out. And other than that, Stevie Richards Fitness, 12 and 16 week resistance band training program. Oh, actually, I'm testing out a new thing that I might put out in July. So I did do that earlier. But yeah, 12 and 16 week resistance band training program, also full body workout video, shoulder mobility. Basically, choose your program, choose your video. If you have any questions, please feel free to email me, Stevie Richards Fitness at gmail.com. Also, the YouTube channel, like I said, also prowrestlingtees.com/Stevie Richards /Ben Hamin / got popping on /SEG shirts. Sal has actually put up a very unique painting up on his eBay as well, and all the proceeds go to the animal shelters. So that's you got some competition there.
Oh boy, bro.
He was inspired. He was inspired by you.
What did he paint?
Paul Hamin.
Oh, that's him?
That's him.
He painted that?
Yes, in a day.
Oh, shit, I didn't know that, bro. That was awesome, man.
Yeah. So it's up now for the next 6 days. So all proceeds going to charity, and it got controversial already with SJW trying to stooge it off to David Starr, who likes to create controversy. Got into it with Cornette over some Jewish stuff when it really has nothing to do with an anti-Semitic message. But here we are, and I believe adding value to it because they want to do one thing, and art is meant to do one thing, which means get a reaction, invoke thought, I guess.
Wow, I did not know that was him. That just popped me huge. That is awesome. Guys, and one thing I just wanted to let everybody know before I wrap up and we go, you're going to be able to get this show on all 3 of our platforms. But guys, here's the thing that's like cool about what we do. And I really hope you realize this. I mean, guys, we come from a world full of workers. I mean, bro, the wrestling business was based on Carney, and it goes all the way back to those roots, bro. And it is, I think Stevie said it, bro. It is a shark pool of just politicians, Carney. I mean, that's the wrestling business. And the thing that's cool about us is that conversation we just had, guys, we would have had that over the phone. I mean, we literally made you privy to a conversation the 3 of us would have had as friends, as buddies. Bro, we don't work anybody. There's no agenda here. There's no sides. That is a conversation, that a genuine, honest conversation that the 3 of us had that we made you privy to. That's why we wanted to, do the show. And that's why I love working with you guys, bro, because I know every single thing I'm going to get is just raw honesty. And, you guys know, man, that's hard to come by in this business.
Absolutely. And I appreciate you both for the exact same. I got into this to be known as one of the best creative minds of all time in wrestling. And unfortunately, maybe my big mouth has gotten me blackballed, or the truth they don't want to hear. But the fact that I get to be on here with an ECW legend as my co-host and the greatest WWE writer of all time to swing bats in that lineup, dude, for me, I've accomplished everything.
Yeah, but don't worry about that, because I played nice, was respectful, kept my mouth shut. They still fucking burned me. So it doesn't matter, man.
Yeah, I mean, bro,
well, I can't get through the door. That's the problem.
Bro, Stevie's blue eyes don't even work with them, bro. I mean, when Stevie's blue eyes,
you think they would have worked with Bonnie Hammer? You think they would have worked on her?
Oh, big time, bro. Yeah, bro. You should have played that card, Stevie.
I never met her,
bro. You'd still be the world champ right now, bro.
Instead, it worked on Van Hammer. Instead, he used it on him.
Very nice. But there you go, guys. We will be back as usual on Wednesday, bro, with the Raw SmackDown review. Guys, we hope you enjoyed this. We enjoyed it, and we will see you all next time.